Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and I have emerged from my hibernation from playing Engage to do some summoning in Fae today. I am so excited to pull on this Valentine's banner, but I also saved my free 5-star to pull, so I think we should go ahead and do that first. And I would love a blue, and if not blue, then green, and if not green, then red. Okay, perfect, one blue. I'm really hoping that we can get either like a Carla, or like a Lynn, or a Corn. There are so many good choices. Oh, you know what? It could have been like way worse, and I actually don't think that I have Kath. Okay, she is new. And she is also minus attack, but she is free. I am not going to complain. And now we can move on to the main event. And I am super excited to pull on this banner, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so our plan for today is going to be to pull every colorless that we see and every green as well. I was so excited when I saw the reveal for this duo. They are the unit that I want the most by far. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this. This is amazing. Let's check IVs. And they are perfectly neutral. I am so beyond happy with that. You know what, even if I pull like 3 stars for the rest of this, I cannot complain because that was the unit that I want the most. But we are still going to pull every single colorless that we see because I absolutely adore this unit. I was trying to say that Elise and Sakura are some of my favorite Fates characters. There she is again. I actually have both of them at +10. And I think that this duo is so incredibly adorable. I feel like I've talked before that I wanted them to be a duo together because I think that their dynamic is great. Oh, I have no idea who that is. Oh, you know what? I really like Zed, so that's a great pull. Okay, let's check IVs. And he's also neutral. I guess it's kind of a neutral kind of day. But we will just keep going, and I was saying that I love Elise and Sakura. They are best little sisters. This duo is really like a dream come true. Their art is adorable, and I also think they're going to be very I But will say the one thing that makes me sad about them is that they have skills that other characters need, and I cannot fodder them. I love them too much, and so I feel like I'm gonna have to wait until like their special and their B skill are on some unit that I hate because I just cannot fodder Elise. And so I feel bad because like my Sarah really needs their skills, and my baby La Rochelle and my Natasha and like a million other healers since I am a healer main. But I am very encouraged that they made this change, that they're adding these new skills because it was something that was very much needed. So I know that was very long-winded, but I am super excited to have them added to the game. But in addition to the duo, I feel like I have to get Leo as well. I'm not sure if it was the last video or maybe like 1 or 2 before that, but I was actually talking about him and how I really wanted him to get a good form in Fae because he has been shafted in every single form. It's been so sad. And so when I saw his reveal and the fact that he has like a usable attack stat, I was just so beyond excited. I love his art. I think he's going to be very strong, and I really want to get him too. So still going to pull every green that we see. And as for the other characters on the banner, we do have Takumi, and he is not a character that I have any attachment to, but I feel like if we don't have our desired colors, he's probably the next best choice just because he is the 5-star. And of course, we also have Hana on the banner, and she is another character I have no attachment to whatsoever. I feel like her fans are very lucky because they have like 2 really good projects now for her. And I'm very happy for you guys, but she is not a character that I want to pull. And so I guess that really does cover everybody, but I also did want to talk about the FEH Channel because we had a lot of things with that. There were a few things that I wanted to discuss, and I don't mean to be negative when I'm talking about it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see them again. Okay, let's check this one. Holy smokes. They are plus attack. You know what? I truly cannot ask for anything else. This is amazing. But I think before they came home, I was trying to talk about the FEH Channel, and I don't mean to be negative, but I found it to be very underwhelming. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I was a little bit disappointed. I think that the best part for me was the reveal of the new characters, just because I was so excited for the duo and for Leo. But overall, I was just very, very underwhelmed. I feel like the changes with Arena are nice. Maybe not like not fixing all the problems, but if you do have that that particular legendary for the week, that does make things a lot easier. What else did we have with that? We had the charge thing that was changed, and I feel like that's not as great as it sounds like at first glance, because you do still have to get pity broken 3 times, and even when you do and you have like all those charges, you still like have to break your pity, and that could mean like 7% or even worse than that. And and even if you do get your pity broken with a focus, it may not be the focus that you want. And so, well, like at first glance, it might be a nice change. It's still not like a fix for getting pity broken. So I kind of found that to be underwhelming as well. And of course, they did do the CYL reveal too. And I was very excited to see female Corrin get in. I did vote for her, so I was really excited for that. I was very disappointed that Felix didn't make it in. Poor Felix. I really hope he gets another form eventually. I do feel like Robin deserved to be in. Not necessarily that I would pull for him, but I do feel like he deserved to make it. And then, of course, we have Snake Lady. And for all of the people that voted for her, congratulations. I wish you many, many snakes. But I personally was not super pleased to see her in. I do like her design, but, you know, it's kind of like a similar case to Gatekeeper and Veronica when they made it in. I just feel like they're taking spots from, like, real characters. I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, characters like Alencia, that would have been amazing. Hilda, Bernadetta, there are so many. But I know why people voted for her, and I'm sure she'll have many forms in Fae, and I'm not going to be very salty about it. This has happened so many times, I'm kind of used to it at this point, but that's like truly how I feel about it. But yeah. So overall, a couple things I was happy with the FEH Channel, but overall kind of underwhelming, and I'm curious about how you guys feel about it. But with all that said, I think that we can go ahead and start answering our viewer questions. And as always, if I not get to your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you'd like to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. And so our first question today comes from Krisu, and they ask, now that Engage has been out for a few weeks, what are your general thoughts? And are there any characters that stuck out to you? Oh my goodness. I feel like I could talk about Engage for an hour. It has been so much fun. I think that the gameplay with this is like on par for me with Conquest in terms of just having a good time. I love the Engage mechanic, and I just love everything about the game so far. Maybe it's like the honeymoon phase because it's new, but I absolutely love it. I think that part of it was that I enjoyed the protagonist so much, and it was really a surprise for me because my expectations for Alir were incredibly low. Like, I did not like the design. Honestly, I still don't love the design, but I love her as a character. I just found her to be so endearing. I loved her relationship with Lumera. I loved her supports, and I don't know, I just really grew to love her and was so pleasantly surprised that it just made it a really great experience for me. So yes, that was a big part of why I enjoyed it, and there were also like so many great characters that I grew to love. As I suspected, Diamant was my favorite. I did support him, and I have no regrets. But aside from Diamant being my favorite, I think that Ivy is probably my favorite female character. I just found her to be such a compelling character. I loved that she's afraid of ghosts. I love that she hates camping because I too hate camping. And I thought she was great. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't think that our pity rate was very high, so that is fine. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is minus speed. I think that he's a pretty fast character, but that is totally okay. But getting back to this very lucky question from Krisu, I was saying that I loved Diamant and Ivy. I loved Citrine. She definitely gave me Lara Shell vibes and ended up being one of my best characters. I absolutely loved her. And another character that was really like a surprise standout for me was Alchrist. I really did not care for his design initially. I did not think that I was going to like him. I actually thought I was going to be annoyed by him, but he ended up being one of my favorite characters. I really just adored him. And aside from those four that I've mentioned, I also really loved Rosado. I loved everything about Rosado. I loved Zelkov. Every single support that he had was absolute gold. I loved that he was a bird dad. I love that he's just like weird and unapologetic, and I love his design. He was just so great. I also really enjoyed Kagetsu, and oh gosh, there were so many. I know that I'm forgetting some, but there were really so many compelling characters that I loved in the game. I will say that there were some characters that surprised me that I didn't care for. Actually, most of the Fionair characters just kind of fell flat for me. I really thought that they would end up being my favorites, and while I didn't really dislike them, they just were not my favorites overall. But I know this has been super long-winded, but it has been a great experience with Engage, and I hope that you guys are having just as much fun. But thank you, Krisu, for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Lily. And they ask, who was your favorite character out of every single character in Fire Emblem? Oh gosh, that's really tough. You know what? If I had to pick like just one character in all of Fire Emblem, I think that I would go with La Rochelle. She just really holds a special place in my heart. She was such a standout for me in Sacred Stones. I loved her design. I loved her bubbly personality. She just really stood out in that cast of characters. And she is a Valkyrie, and I love, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, you know what? That is Silk, and I love Silk, so I will take it. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is perfectly neutral. I am happy with that. And getting back to this very lucky question from Lily, I was just saying that La Rochelle has to be my favorite overall, even though there are a couple that are very close seconds. But thank you for that very lucky question. And another Atlas. I feel like I've never gotten him for like so many months, so I'm really happy to see so many of him today. So let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Vanguard of the Void. And they ask, if you could have any Fire Emblem character, literally any of them as a ring, who would it be and what would their abilities be? Oh gosh. You know, pretty similar to my previous question, I think that my answer would be La Rochelle. I will admit, I was so sad when I saw that her ring like gave nothing with her bond ring in Engage. I really wanted her to at least have a personal skill. But if I were to make her into like a good ring in Engage, I would want her to function pretty similarly to Micaiah. Hilda! Oh my gosh, that is Hilda. Oh my goodness, that is like one of the best 4-star specials I could possibly get. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. Oh my gosh. That is absolutely amazing. But getting back to this very lucky question from Vanguard, I was saying that I would want La Rochelle to function pretty similarly to the Micaiah ring, like with Great Sacrifice, with her having maybe something like Latona. Although I don't think that Latona had a penalty, so maybe she could do something like that. I also think that she could wield Evaldi, and it would be perfect. But yeah, that is what I would want if she were like an actual good ring in Engage. But thank you for that very lucky question. Okay, please be Leo. It's Rickon. All right, so let's back out. And I think that we can probably sneak in one more question. And this comes from Matteo Bonavento. And they ask, beside the Sacred Stones ones for obvious reasons, is there a Holoforms batch that you would like to see get rerun? So yes, the ones that I would like to see get rerun are probably ones that we'll never see, and those are the ones that we had before we were able to redeem Formas. So the Shadows of Valentia and the FE4 ones would be the ones that I would choose, which I know will never happen, but that's what I would want to see. But thank you for that great question. And now we can go ahead and spark, and of course we have to get the good Leo. Eventually. This is a very easy choice. Yay! We finally got a good Leo. I'm so excited. And we get the thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and end things here. I am so beyond happy with how this went, and I truly hope that you guys are just as lucky if you're pulling on this banner. I do want to say a huge thank you to everybody that submitted questions. I cannot make these videos without you, so thank you so, so much. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.